Welcome to another episode of Just My Baby Daddy podcast. It's your favorite baby daddy, AJ. And today we're going to do a mailbag episode and we're going to do it with my boy Kenny. So I'm appreciate to have you back, Kenny Holt.
Hey man, glad to be back. Thank you for having me. Hey, before we get started, let me see your shirt. Cause I need one of these, man. So, but yeah, that's a dope shirt.
Well, look, I'll start making these. If more people say they want them, I'll start making more of these shirts. But people be writing me instead of writing me about the shirts, they wrote me some comments that I've been asking for, and I got some, and I wanted to bring you on, especially for some of these, right? Because the first one is absolutely perfect to me because I think it's gonna be good. So I don't know your story, and I'll tell you mine. But this question was, well, I'm joining the two baby mama club. My question was, how was it when you first told your first baby mama that you had a baby on the way?
Jeez. So, and Tip, if you're watching this, we're good. I just gotta put out that note. Like, it's a family, it's a
No,
village now. Me and Tip, we weren't always good, but now we're good. I'm confident in everything I say on here. Totally transparent. And, she would say the same thing. But it hasn't always been good. So, and then around this time, it was probably a little rocky, just our relationship because there were some things, of course, I could have done way better after Kennedy was born. That's my first child with Tiffany. A lot of our people that, we associate with, me and you on, know Tiffany and they know me and whatever. But shit, I was actually kind of nervous. But at that time, Kennedy was like 11. Yeah, 10 or 11. So my plan was for me to not be able to tell, because I didn't know how things would go. Me and Tiffany at that point weren't really communicating on a good frequency level. So I was like, I had told Kennedy, and knowing Kennedy would go and tell Tiffany. So that's kind of how it came out.
What?
Yeah,
Hold on.
not like I said.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You went through all of this, just going in circles. So you never told her yourself
Yeah, I
initially.
kind of just like confirmed it. I didn't again, I haven't
Uh,
always been the best baby dad. I know.
wait. So Kitty, you never just sat down and had it. So you told your daughter first that you had a baby on the way, and never told Tiffany.
Yep, and I want everybody to learn from my mistake because yeah, I shouldn't have told my daughter first. I should have went to Tiffany, as a grown up and a co-parent, baby daddy. I should, if I could go back and do it again, I would have went to Tiffany first. But in my example, what not to do, I told my daughter who had
I shouldn't be laughing.
knowing
But
she
yeah.
would tell her mother because they're tight. They talk about everything, and so that's how Tiffany came to find out about me having Micah.
So how did that go when Tiffany finally addressed it with you? Did she just not say anything? Wait for you to say something? Like how was that?
So I had Lanice, my now wife, which she wasn't my wife when the baby was expected to be born. At that time, I actually had I think Lanice reach out to her because again, I haven't. You see the trend, right? Yo, but hey, but listen, hear me out though. It all worked out.
Yeah.
Tiffany actually she took it really well. She wasn't mad. Her thing is she was more so happy that Kennedy would have a sibling, and Kennedy had been expressing that she wanted another sibling. So to my surprise, Tiffany, she took it great. And so it actually ended up working out. But again, the way I did it and the way I moved wasn't the best way to do it.
I wouldn't recommend moving like that. I would yeah. Wow.
Took the quote unquote bitch way out. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, I mean, look, as long as you admit it, I mean, look, you let your inner bitch out a little bit. It's all right. It's okay. Man, I never knew that. I never. So, well, for those who know, you have another baby on the way, right? So how was that then? who did you tell? What was you just told your daughter, or did you tell Tiffany? How did it go this time?
Yeah, so this time we're so open. I actually told Tiffany at the same time that I told Kennedy, kind of like, hey, guess what? You know. So this was a little different.
Okay.
And of course, she loves it. She's all for it. And people don't know this, but Tiffany actually comes over and watches Micah with Kennedy, like whenever me and Lenise want to go on a date, stuff like that. So we've come a long way through
Yeah.
better communication. So it all boils down to how you communicate and just being on the same page. But I was not the best baby dad in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. I never knew you didn't. You had Kennedy tell her.
Not one of my proudest moments, but yeah, that's how it went down.
So I can be all right. I'll be honest. I'll be totally transparent and honest. The way my first relationship ended with the baby mom kind of was somewhat over a baby. Where I thought I may have had a baby on the way, and it was just like some stuff was seen, and it was just like it was bad, right? And so I was kind of really nervous about saying it, about going in there and saying like, yeah, I got a baby on the way. I went, I do remember I told her about 2 weeks, 3 weeks before I was supposed to have a gender reveal. And
Okay.
I remember telling her, um, I used to take it was like football practice for my son, and I would pick my son up for football practice. I told her, and I said, don't tell the kids. So I told her first. I didn't tell the kids. I said, don't tell the kids. And when I pick them up this weekend, I'm gonna tell them, and it's gonna be a thing. Then 2 weeks from now, when I pick them up again, they're gonna come over for the gender reveal, all like that. And to my surprise, like you said, it went, it kind of freaked me out. Can't lie. It
Hold
was
on,
like,
pause for a second. I'm now that I'm thinking about it, I'm trying to go back in my mind and think like why I was so nervous. Like, why were you nervous? What gave you anxiety about it? Like,
so because of the first situation, and the way the first situation kind of went, it was like, and the things that were said was true. Like, what about the other kids? Like, because in that time, I wasn't in no position to be taking care. I wasn't doing my part with my two, let alone how am I going to introduce a third, right?
yeah,
And this was years ago, like years, and I was like, I don't know what's going to happen, like how that's going to go again. Is it going to be exciting? I had no clue, no clue, because and the good thing is not like I had a big with someone that she didn't know or she had never met before, because it took me what almost it's almost 2 years before Kiana met my kids. Like, and then once she met my kids, then she was just around and round and round from that point forward. But I ain't gonna lie, I was shook. I
yeah.
was in there. I had like the nervous laugh and shit. I'm just in there. I'm probably just blabbering off at the mouth, saying I probably don't saying too much, like because I just, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to react. And then when she was like, I don't know if it was fake happy, real happy, and in that moment, I can't tell the difference. I'm just getting this shit off, and I'm going. I'm letting it go, letting it be known, and I'm gonna tell the kids too. And this is it. But it was yeah, I ain't gonna lie, my nerves were shot. My nerves
Dude,
were shot.
let me first. So I know I did how I did it, and it was like not the manly way to do it, but I got to give some context because if you know Tiffany, she's like 4'11", 5 foot tall, but yo, I was scared of that motherfucker, yo. And it's like, so she's from Charlotte. We live in Charlotte. She's from Charlotte. She knows everybody, and her family, like they're like 450 people deep. So it's like I'm scared of this motherfucker. I don't know what she's capable of. And back then, Tiffany, you watching this? Yo, you were diabolical. Like, you don't know. This is my first time ever admitting this, like ever. I was shook. I didn't know she was unpredictable. I'm glad we both matured, but yo, I was scared. So I had to do how I did it, but I don't recommend it for anybody that may be in this situation or you're about to be in this situation. Look, just be a man, man up, and just tell the truth. And you talk to your baby mom directly. That's the
Yeah.
best way to do it.
Because I mean, it could, what you think could be the worst situation to happen, you probably won't even happen. Probably won't even, because I ain't gonna lie, man. And you had me shook. Ain't no other way to put it. My ass was in there, just like, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Well, but the good thing is, I ain't never having that conversation
Said the hell with that. Hey,
again. Never again. And so that kind of leads to the other question that I had, which was someone wrote in, they said they're about to have their first child and they're about to tell their parents for the first time. So I got a question for you. What was it like when you told your parents? I know you had to tell your parents, or did you say Tiffany to tell your parents?
yeah. So I had to tell them. I was probably more shook to tell them than I was Tiff. And it had nothing to do with it being with Tiff, or it could have been with whoever. I got to give some more context. So I come from a spiritual home. They're big on like having a baby after you get married, and then they have a certain look that they wanted for me in my siblings' lives, and it didn't happen. That wasn't in my cards. You know what I mean? So that's why I was scared to tell them. And at first, my mom, when I called her and told her, she actually hung up the phone because she was so shocked. And hell, if Kendi, you're seeing this, Tiffany, she was probably disappointed too, simply because, and my mom is Korean, we've been through this, especially in that culture, they do it that way. It shows to them it's like honorable to get married and then, reproduce and grow your family. And so for my mom and all her church people, she thought it was like a black mark on her legacy. But it all changed. So they didn't take it well. They were like, WTF, come on, Junior. They called me Junior. You can't do that. But as soon as they laid eyes on Kennedy, all that went out the window. And so, it's been great since. But yeah, it was a crazy conversation. My mom and dad did not. They lost a little respect for me. Cause I don't know if they didn't think I was out here having sex or whatever, but they were just so disappointed. Yeah, it was crazy.
Really, I didn't expect that. So it's okay. I'll give context as well. Then
Yeah.
we'll be honest about this. The first time I told my mother I had a baby on the way, I didn't tell her.
What?
I didn't tell her. The first time I had a baby on the way, I remember like coming and seeing the girl at the table talking to my mother. She had told my mother that she was pregnant. This is back when I was in high school. And I remember like conversation my mother was having then about, not being ready and all this other stuff. And yeah, it was pissed me off. I ain't gonna lie. The first interaction when it came to me and a child and my mother, it completely pissed me off because I didn't have an opportunity to tell her. The girl told her. The
Wow.
only reason why the girl told her is because she decided she was going to end up keeping the baby after saying she wasn't going to keep it at first. They decided she was going to keep it. Then she told my mother. Then we didn't end up keeping it. So I was like, why you even say something? Like, wasting my goddamn time. So it kind of led to this next time when I was telling my mother, it was completely different because for a while, she may have wanted me to go the married route and all of that. Like, of course, that's what she wants. But my mother wanted a grandchild. Period. she had been like asking me and saying stuff about grandchildren and all this other stuff. And I'm like, yo, you're not taking care of it. Like, so what does it matter? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I remember her being so excited and so happy and wanting to be in the room and all of that. She was just like super, super, super happy. And I'm grateful and thankful for that because I have seen with my own eye and heard some wild. I've been a part of one where I've known. I ain't gonna get into who, but it was someone very close to me. That I remember when they told their mother, and they was like, first answer was, "Did she set you up?" And I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, oh my. But you got, but you would have to understand that person's mother to understand, like, and then I was also around when like someone would say like, "I'm not about to bring you a babysitting," was the response. And I was like,
That's crazy.
but and then all that, whatever the response, especially if it's a negative response, I wouldn't pay too much attention to it because it, like you said, when that baby comes, it all changes.
That heals everything.
It all
Whatever
changes.
disappointments, whatever expectations the parent has, yo, when the baby comes and they see that baby,
Yeah.
it's a feeling that's indescribable, man, and it heals everything. So
Because whatever feelings they had towards you don't matter anymore anyway, because you don't matter. Like,
exactly.
that's their babies. Like that's their brand new babies. Like that's and like it's crazy. My mother, she tells both mothers of my children all the time. She will call and be like, "Thank you for my grandkids," which to
Yeah.
me is like whatever, but like she does that. Like she does that, and it's a special thing, especially when they have that bond with their grandparents. Like it's a real thing.
Yeah. Because at first, my mom, she was like, "Yeah, what are my church ladies gonna say?" So now she's always asking me and begging me, "Please bring Kendi home so I can take her to church and show her off." Everybody thinks she's so beautiful. This, that, and third. I'm thinking like, nah, nigga, well, you didn't. So it, she did a total 180, man, and I love it. It makes me feel like so good as a dad, knowing that your parents are proud of you for this child that you had. So,
And they're proud of you for the way you parent as well.
oh yeah,
Like
for sure.
I hear that a lot. I hear more compliments from my mother about my parenting than I've probably heard from my mother. And I'm not saying that she never was doing that before, but I just see it's a lot more on my proud of my parenting than anything else. Now I've done a lot of other stuff, and she's always been proud of everything, but that parenting thing is different. It is totally, totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different. I did have another one. I had another one that I saw, and I thought this was good. So this was, hey, how do you handle parenting a kid that's totally different from you? I'm all about anime and gaming, but my son is obsessed with sports and has zero interest in anime. It's like we're from different planets sometimes. So I remember, I remember it broke my heart. My daughter was not into the sports because I remember when she was young, she was like when she was up to like 4 or 5 years old or whatever. She was always just sit on my lap, be around me, watching sports and all of this. And then I'll never forget it, just clear as day. One day she looked right at me and said, "Dad, I don't want to do this. I want to do girly stuff like ballet." And I'm like, "You don't even like ballet. You don't do ballet." Like she's never done it, still doesn't do it. But like it broke me to pieces. And then at that time, my son wasn't into sports either, and I was just like, "What am I going to
Oh, man, yeah.
do?" Like, but thankfully, boy is a sports fanatic, so I ain't got that issue. But I guess it is that way when you have, especially with my daughter, like she has no real interest in the stuff I have interest in. And I have She sits up there and watches some of the weirdest little YouTube videos I've ever seen. And I had zero interest in doing that with her. Like zero. So what do you do? Do you have that type of thing where you got to find a balance to like, and how do you do it?
Yeah. And I was in the same boat. So Kennedy, I tried to force her into sports. I had her training with a trainer and everything until she got injured during one practice. And then she was like, hell nah, dad, this ain't really for me. I was doing it for you, which that kind of broke my heart because she was like, I don't want to do this, but I was doing it for you. And so that kind of made me go back and like reconsider, like, dang, I can't put my wants and desires on any of my children. I honestly admittedly did that with Kenny and it wasn't right. So the balance is, and she knows this, she doesn't like sports. She likes cheering for sports, but she doesn't like playing the sport. She goes to games with me. She's been to several NFL and NBA games. So she'll sit there and act like she's being entertained, knowing it makes me happy. And so that's what I appreciate about her. But to your point, there has to be a balance. So because she likes to cheer, I go and I yell from the rooftop whenever she's out there doing her thing because I know that's where her passion is. So it all boils down to supporting them in their passion and not being overly aggressive, putting your wants and desires on your kids, man.
And I think it's also trying to, I know I don't do like the video. I just know I'm just not going to do videos with my daughter. Like that's just not going to happen. But you try to find something that you can have a common ground in. It might not be what your passion is, what you love the most. You got to find it. You got to just find something. Like for example, my son is into sports, but he wants to talk to me a lot about fucking Premier League soccer. I know absolutely nothing about soccer. I can give you the names of like Mbappe, Messi, something like that, like big names. That's it. But he can go through all of it. And so now, while it's not the sports that I enjoy or I like, I am going to take him to like a DC United game, or I am going to tap into the things that he like and try to get whatever it is. Like my daughter, she didn't like sports, but she picked up golf. Right now, me and her golf all the time.
See, y'all have that. Yeah.
Or what we do is we'll sit down and my daughter is very like affectionate and she likes to sit there and I'm going to take advantage of this now because I realize that this probably might end at some point. She likes to, we'll sit there and I make sure that on Friday nights, even though me and my son might be up on Saturday till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning playing Madden or 2K, we want to take the time on Friday nights as a family. We want to sit down, we want to watch a movie. Like you just got to find, it ain't got to be it ain't got to be something elaborate, but just find something to make sure that your child knows that you're there for them and you want to take interest in them and what they have going on as well. Because that's all they care about. That's all they care about. Like, I can go watch my son play soccer and not know absolutely anything that's going on. He don't care. He just wants me
Just be there. All right.
to just be
Yep.
there.
Yeah. And so that's what the same thing with my daughter, man. It's crazy how many similarities we have between Aubrey and Kendi. So the movies is our thing. It's so crazy. Like even if I know Lanice wants to go, if Kendi mentions that she just wants to go with just us two, um, yeah, that will. And if I gotta act like we saw something else and act like it's new when me and Lanice goes, I hope she's not watching this. And
Yeah,
that's
bro.
what it is. You
You
know what
got
I'm
to do
saying?
things twice. Like, yeah,
Right.
it's the price you got to pay.
But you got to make sure the kids are they got to feel like they're being seen and they're being heard. You know what I mean? Like that goes a long way with the kids, man. So that's our thing.
Yeah. I think with her also, we used to, I get my nails done. I get my nails done. I get my nails done with me and my daughter. And then I think I got in trouble for if somebody else to, I think mom wanted to come and I was like, no, me and my daughter's thing. It's our thing. It ain't, it ain't all of our thing. It's our thing. But I need to be more inclusive. Because, yeah, you probably guilty of that too. Yeah,
She just walked in.
I can tell. Yeah. But
It's
yeah,
a great
Kenny.
topic because, man, I don't think we as parents spend enough time talking about how we kind of impose our wishes on our kids, man. And that could create a lot of unnecessary pressure for the kids too. So this is a great topic.
But there isn't like, well, she likes golf, but that became a non-negotiable for me though. Certain things are for these kids, I'm just gonna make them do. And like for me, she's gonna have to play because I'm playing for the next 30 years and we were playing together. So it is what it is.
Yep. That's
All right,
what's up, man.
man. Again, I appreciate you coming on, and we're gonna do this again probably another month or two. Like I said, we got these questions coming in. I'm gonna get you on here to answer them with me. I appreciate it.
Anytime, man. Hey, again, go ahead and get that merch going, man. We need it.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Yeah. All right, man. We'll holler.
Episode of Just My Baby Daddy podcast. I know you liked what you saw. So what I need for you to do is go back and look at past episodes. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share our YouTube page, Just My Baby Daddy Podcast. And you can follow us on all social media at Just My Baby Daddy Pod.